Guess what today is? It's January the 8th. Do you know what that day is in American history? Do you know what that day is in music history? Well, I bet you the musicians from the mountains know whose birthday it is. Elvis Aaron Presley was born this day. And I would love to just give y'all a show of playing nothing but Elvis music, but then we would get a strike and another strike on YouTube because that's using copyrighted stuff. So we will talk about how amazing Elvis Presley was. He was the king of rock and roll. He still is the king of rock and roll. Sorry if you don't agree with me. I'm sorry. You need to get your act together. He's still the king of rock and roll. Nobody did music like Elvis. Now, there are a lot of Elvis impersonators, and they still sell a lot of black hair dye because a lot of these guys don't have black hair, but they get it by getting it out of a bottle. If you have been to any of the really good Elvis shows, there are some good impersonators out there, but nobody could walk in those blue suede shoes but Elvis Presley. I never got to see him live, but I came close enough to seeing him live. But I was like 9 months and a week pregnant, and the tickets I could get were in the nosebleed section, and I said, I don't think 9 months and a week in a crazy screaming Elvis concert would be a really good place to be. So I chose not to go. And I regretted it ever since because that was the closest I ever got. That was the only chance I ever had to see the king in person, and I didn't get to do it. And I thank my mama every day for the time that she spent taking us to the drive-in to see Elvis Presley movies because Mama loved Elvis not quite as much as I did. And if my girls could tell y'all about the crying hissy fit I had when he died, I had a crying hissy fit and I cried for weeks because that was the music I loved. That was the music I would sit on the porch. Billy Pope lived here, Shirley Lingo lived here, and I lived here. And I would sit on the front porch and they would come over, visit, they'd come and hang out a while, and I had this little red and gray record player. And I would sit on the porch and play Elvis records. And one, I don't know why I kept going, Are You Lonesome Tonight? I don't know why I played that record so much, but I wore that sucker out. But a lot of my favorite music came from the movie Blue Hawaii. And how many weddings played the music that Elvis used in that wedding in the movie? I mean, it was crazy. It was Elvis mania was going on. And it should have been because he was the king of rock and roll. And man, who looked as good as him, who sang as good as him. He didn't do the big to-do shows with all the lights and the glitter and all the da-da-da-da-da that they use today. He just did great music. At his last concert, as sad as it was to see him because he was not in great shape, he still sang his heart out. And so today, if you have a chance, go to YouTube and listen to some of Elvis's music. I don't care what you like today. You might like gospel, you might like bluegrass, you might like country, the old country. Surely you don't like the new country stuff because it's just not country. But when we look at Elvis's music, it hit every age. There are kids who weren't even born, who were born 30 years after he died, and they love his music. That's what it's about. It's about the music. It's about the way he delivered it. It's about the songs he chose. It was about him. And you know, he started out doing gospel music, and we love gospel music in these parts. Everybody knows we love gospel music. So Elvis started out singing in church, and he was very, very close to his mom and had a great relationship with his mom. So she was a big influence. And when she passed away, it's so weird to me that he passed away the same age, same time she did. That is very strange. Y'all know that next week I'm going to be older than my mama lived to be, older than my daddy lived to be, older than my sister lived to be. So there's something about living a good life. And Elvis and his mom, I don't know if it was heart issues with her. I'm not sure what got her, but they died so young. And you think about it, what if he had lived 20 more years? Because the music industry changed a lot in the next 20 years. Would he have still been the king? I say yes. I say yes. There are people out there who'll say, nah, there were a lot of people who came in there and did all the show and go and all that stuff. I don't care. They still weren't Elvis. Elvis was the king, and he always will be in my mind. And I just love it, love it, love it. I should have worn my Elvis t-shirt today. Tori went to Graceland. Do you know I've never been to Graceland? As much as I loved Elvis, I have never been to Graceland. I've been to Loretta Lynn's house many times, multiple times, but I have never been to Graceland, and that makes me very, very sad. So I never got to go there. I would love to have seen his cars, and I think it would be a really, really cool trip, but I hadn't done it yet. Don't know if I'll get to do it again, because I really don't like going out I-40. That's a bad road, and it's full of big tractors and trailers, and it's not my cup of tea. But today, my cup of tea wasn't 5:15 either, because I was watching traffic. Y'all, we're becoming 400 in a mini way, but it's crazy. Traffic north and south was crazy this morning. You know what that means? The economy is doing well, because I met trucks with lumber on it, trucks with rocks on it, trucks with sheetrock on it. I met plumbing and electrical trucks. I've never seen so many people working. Isn't that a great thing in America? We're working and we're staying busy, and there's lots to do. Everybody who has a specialized business, like an electrician, a plumber, a sheetrocker, they all have waiting lists. That's the coolest thing ever. Do you know how long people were out of work? Nothing was going on. There's a lot going on right now. So count your blessings. And Sherry, quit whining about the traffic, but I don't like the traffic. I don't. And maybe I'll start leaving home earlier and keep going the back road, because I really do like the back road. And I've got to go check on the Rebel Inn and see just how much of that iconic building they took down. So I hadn't been down there in a few weeks. But when we look at today's world, it is changing so fast. It is growing so fast. It is producing more things that I never thought I'd see in my lifetime. What is AI? Did I ever think I would see AI? AI can create. It can take your voice. It can manipulate your voice. It can do things, and you'll hear yourself and think that's not really you, but it really is you. It's really scary to me, but it's also very cool to me if you're not afraid of what it will bring along the way, because some people are like, it could be deceitful, it could bring things with problems. So it's going to be very, very interesting. If Elvis were here, would somebody AI him? I don't know. It's very weird, because he's been gone so long now. Things have changed drastically. But the one thing that doesn't change is the musicians, when they do a live show, you see exactly what they are. When they do the recorded stuff, you can master it, you can tweak it, you can change it, you can make it a little bit better than it really was. There are things you can do, and with AI, it's really going to be interesting to see how they change the way we do the world. I kind of like it the way the world was, and in the next few days, because today we're going to share some old stuff. And you will see here at ETC, we've changed cameras, we've changed lighting, we've changed a lot of things in the years that I've been here. I've been here a long time. And when we look back at where the set started, and then the set moved, and then I moved it again, and I kept moving it because I kept saying I want to get it where I want it. And I really like that light green, that pastel green. And I thought, okay, and then I came to this because I really like the country living. And so we have an opportunity to change, but with AI, we can change my set just like this. We could make it where it is artificial, and it's not really us, and it's not really in the studio. That just doesn't seem right to me. I want to still be here. I want it to still be like it is. I want to still have these old pots and pans. I don't want to change it, so it's creating something that really isn't there. It's really weird to me, so we'll see. I don't think Elvis would like it either. I think he was one of those country boys from the old days, and he'd say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But we'll see. We'll see, because AI is going to be a part of every business in the world today. And it's strange to look at things and somebody can create something by just getting on a computer and hit a few buttons and create a 3D image of something that you never could have done 10 years ago. So it's very different. The kids today got a lot more to deal with than we did. We had to learn reading, writing, and arithmetic. And now they have to learn a lot of stuff that has to do with the computer. And every single day the computers change. So as we've grown here, we have gone from this huge big board to this big old thing sitting over there. I don't know what it does, but it has the mastermind of everything we do. And I look at it and I'm like, oh, if that thing were to quit, we'd be in trouble. I don't even know what the name of it is, but it stores and stacks and relays and delivers what we do live. Live TV is still live. So when we're live, we're live. And you can't do it without people. And I don't want these people to be replaced by robots. I'm not interested in working with a robot. I'd rather work with these boys that have to get up in the morning and be here early. So it's going to be different as we watch. And so we're going to go back today and we're going to show y'all some things that we did in the early days. Leading up to a special that we're going to do on Tuesday. We're going to do a couple of 2-hour Heart of the Homes, and we're going to go back to the very beginning of Heart of the Home, the very beginning of cooking, the very beginning of visiting your homes, the very beginning of visiting Butts Mill Farm, visiting Alaska, and doing cooking shows in Alaska. I mean, we took Mayfield milk to Alaska. We took white lily flour, blue plate mayonnaise. We took Crisco. We took the things that I wasn't sure I could buy in Alaska. We did Southern cooking around the world, and you know what? Everybody loved it. And so today we're going to be looking back. We're going to be looking back at my co-host, Bill Sinyard. And it's so funny because I talked to Bill yesterday, and he's going to be with me on Tuesday. And we were talking about, we've changed. We've changed so much because everybody's life has revolved. You know, we had Bill's whole family here, and now all of them but one or two are gone. They all died from dementia. And we look back, and just 12 years ago, his whole family was standing on set with us today. Life changes. Things move on, and you look back and you go, gosh, you know, everybody was here and now they're not. We all do that with our families. So today, take advantage of today to pick up the phone and call and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. Hey, I was wondering, could we get together for lunch? Hey, why don't you come by and eat supper with us? Keep in touch, because we don't know when that moment, that call, the last time you will hear your mama's voice. And I was thinking about that yesterday. I would love to hear my mama's voice. I would love for her to say, sugar, just make it easy on yourself, because that was one of her favorite things. She'd say, you do what you think will work out and I'll be fine. And I'm like, this cannot be coming from my stubborn, bullheaded mama, but it did. It did, because at the end of her life, she tried to make things easy for me, and I'm very, very thankful for that. So if you're taking care of a parent, I know it's hard. I know it's hard. I did it double duty because I had my mom and my husband both passing away at the same time. It's tough, but stay strong, listen to some good music, and, you know, even if you're sitting there with somebody who doesn't remember you, put on some old music, and I think sometimes it'll bring a sparkle to their eye because maybe they'll remember something. So don't let the things of today get you down. Just look back, smile, and remember the special people in your life. So today we're going to look back, and we're going to remember some very, very special people in my life. And two of them are Mary and Grady Anderson, and one of them is Bill Sinyard and his sweet wife, Melissa. They've been married forever and ever and ever. And they're in the middle right now of building a barn dominium. And Bill is doing a lot of the work on it, so he's staying busy, busy, busy. But they have had such a successful married life. They've raised amazing children, and they've been very, very blessed. But as Bill gets older, he knows that his family has that genetic disposition. I hope that he never ends up having to face dementia, but we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring for all of us. All our family has something. There's something going on that you think Am I going to be the next one to get that? Well, I hope not. I hope not. I hope that everybody stays healthy and, you know, stay healthy, stay happy, stay pumped up, and do something for somebody else that'll make a difference in your life. We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we hope to have some really, really good stuff from the past, and it's going to be people that you knew, people that you loved, and it might have a variety of my co-hosts, and you might go, that guy was funny, and that guy was cool. So we're going to, y'all sit back, and we're going to reach back into the vault and spend some time together.
Whether you're in the mood for chicken strips, a delicious burger, our classic banana split, or an upside-down thick blizzard treat, we've got you covered. Hot and fresh food every day, every time, and delicious DQ soft serve make the perfect pair at your favorite place. Not fast food, fan food fast. Your Blue Ridge, Ellijay, and Jasper Dairy Queens are your meet, eat, and treat headquarters.
Thank you for choosing DQ. How may I serve you?
If you or your business are looking for local advertising opportunities, we have sponsorships available for new programming coming soon on ETC3. Contact us at 706-697-5591.
See us anytime you can.
Whether you're swimming in the sea or splashing in the pool, making a masterpiece, or just making memories, writing a great American novel, or writing your term paper that's due tomorrow. Whatever you do in life, Farmers is here to protect it. For all your insurance needs, call Donald Curtis in Blue Ridge.
Mary and Grady with us today because last week we interviewed Bob and Evelyn Blackstone, 61 years of marriage. And I said, I want to talk to other people who made it 61 years. Mary, how was he so lucky to have you for 61 years?
Oh, I don't know if he's lucky or not. He thinks he is. That's the main thing.
I know he is. Now, Grady, when you proposed to her, was it a big deal or did you just say, come on, let's go get married? Was it a big deal?
I'd like to go back and tell you how I met her.
Okay.
Mary's father owned the only convenience store in the little community that we grew up in. Mm-hmm. And they lived above the store. And I had just finished a year in college and came home for summer break. And for some reason, I went up to the store to make a purchase. I don't remember for what. But I heard someone coming down the stairwell. And when I looked up, I saw the most beautiful woman ever.
Oh, wow. I can see that.
And she came on down, she passed me, she spoke, and she smiled. And I certainly wasn't in any hurry to leave. And I made it a point to get around and get a discussion started, and we discussed topics of interest.
Mm-hmm.
And when I left the store that day, I said, that will be the woman that I marry.
Wow.
There you go.
And
Wow.
so the trips then were more frequent, and they were longer.
Uh-huh.
And pretty soon we were dating.
Okay. Was she, gosh, in the community where you lived, it was a small community.
Right.
Was there a lot to choose from, or was she just that special one? Did you know her in school? Did you know her before? Had you ever seen her before that day?
I was 4 years ahead of her.
Okay. Okay.
And she remembered me in school because I played basketball.
Uh-huh. You probably had your eyes on him long before he knew it, didn't you?
I don't know. See, I had a boyfriend already.
Oh,
She had a
okay.
boyfriend
So
already.
I had to quit my boyfriend for him.
Uh-huh. Was it worth it, Mary?
Well, I guess it was.
I bet it was.
I
bet
I
it
had
was.
picked this boy out when he came to our school and gone with him through the 8th, 9th, and 10th grade, and that's when I had to quit him to go with Grady.
Now, how old were you when y'all met?
I was 21,
So you were 16?
and she was 18.
18, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, 18.
Now, immediately, did you fall in love with him?
Well, I probably didn't right off, you know. I don't remember that I did.
But were you absolutely taken with her, and
Absolutely.
you never questioned it?
Never questioned, not
And
from day
61
one.
years later, 61 years
But
later.
see, people try to make it too hard, and that's the way it's supposed to
Yeah,
be. You
yeah,
just
that's
Well, let me
exactly
put it this
right.
way.
see them and you fall in love.
If I had known then what I know now, I would still pick her out of the crowd.
Isn't that something? Isn't that something?
There you go.
61 years. Now, in 61 years, you're an educator.
That's correct.
What did you teach?
I taught physical science and social science, and I left with 47 years of service.
Wow.
I actually taught 46, but I was never sick a day in my life. And I taught many years before they started giving sick leave. And when they did, it was just 1 day a year. And over the years, I built up better than a year. And when it came time to retire, and like I say, I'd never missed a day due to sickness. And so I decided, well, sick leave is what it was designed for. And for some reason, I've never needed it. And I didn't feel like that I could go to some doctor and get some impropriety way of getting maybe something done so that I could draw it. Because I could, see, I built those there, some of those days back there when I was making practically nothing. But I would have, in the end, I would have received full pay at the salary that I was making at the time.
Wow.
So I decided I would just return it to the state.
Amazing.
And that's what I did, and they gave me 1 year extra on my retirement. So I taught 46 years, but I left with 47 years.
Wow. Now, Mary, what did you do? Did you work outside the home?
Well, we got in the chicken business for one thing, and so
Then you
that
really
was with the hatching eggs, what it was, and so
How many years did y'all do that?
about 20.
20, up in 20 years.
Yeah, and then after that, then I went to Clifton Precision at Peachtree and worked for 20 years. They call it Moog or something like that today. But back then it was like Litton Industries. So I worked up there 20 years, which is about 30 or 35 miles drive each way, you know.
And then, in the middle of all this happiness, you had this gorgeous daughter.
That's true.
You have a beautiful daughter. Was one child, you had one child. Did you ever want more children?
Well, listen, I grew up during the Great Depression, and I didn't want to have more children than I could educate. And in fact, the business is, before Mary and I ever bought a car, we put money in the bank to educate her,
Wow.
to make sure
Wow.
that she would have. But it was interesting. I only put $1,000, but then when I went to college, I could go for 3 whole months, and I would pay for room and board, books, tuition, and all for about $73.
Oh my gosh.
And then,
Today, that wouldn't even buy your books for
Buy
one
your lunch.
course. No.
and then I worked. I had to work my way through. I milked cattle at the farm, and I also swept the dining hall twice a day. And for that, I got $10 a month, $30 for 3 months' work. So they applied that toward my tuition and all. So actually, it cost about $43 for 3 months.
Wow.
And so I put $1,000 in, but when the time came for her to go to college, I wouldn't have got her front foot into the door. So.
No. Now, a lot of people know your beautiful daughter, and she is drop dead gorgeous, inside and out, inside and out. Has she always been a special young lady?
Yes, she has. She's always
Yeah.
been special.
Always.
Well, and she also became a teacher, didn't she?
That's correct.
Yeah.
My father was a teacher ahead of me.
Okay. And did you encourage her, or did she just look at you and say, I want to be like my dad?
No, she at first didn't think she wanted to teach, and she went off and took other courses down in Atlanta. What was it?
To that School of Art.
School of Arts.
Art.
Yeah. She's very good at art.
You know what I can see her doing? Running a salon
Yeah.
and telling women how to feel good about themselves and how to dress and how to do their makeup. I think she would be so cool at that.
But finally she decided she wanted to teach, and so she went back and took the educational courses that permitted her to do so.
Well, do you think that worked for her, because then she married an educator?
That's true.
You know, do you think there might have been a plan there?
Might have.
Might have been. Might have been.
She couldn't have beat Ron.
No.
No, he's a prince of a guy.
He
There's no
is.
question about
Yeah,
it.
He is.
He's perfect.
He's very good to her. He
Yeah.
looks after her and cares for her.
He sure
Yeah.
does.
Now, in 61 years, you still live on the family property?
That's correct.
I know there's an old home place there where your mother and dad lived, is that right?
That's right.
And what's your address? Is it North Carolina, Tennessee? What's your address?
Well, right now, we decided we wanted to keep a Tennessee address, and so our address is P.O. Box 177, Turtletown, Tennessee.
Okay.
And the reason for that is quite simple. It's 25 miles to Murphy, and if you get a registered letter or anything like that, you'd have to drive 50 miles round trip, whereas if I go to Turtletown, it would only be about 7 or 8 miles round trip.
That's a good strategy.
Yeah.
Now, you live in still a farming community, don't
Yes,
you?
we do. We still, in fact, I still farm. But of course, I'm just a shadow of the man that I was before the accident.
Right.
But I still farm. I can still drive a tractor and I mow my yard, but that's about it. I can't do any kind of work with hand tools and that sort of thing. That day is past.
Let's talk a little bit about 47 years of working, never missing a day's work for sickness.
That's right.
And then you were in the hospital for how long in intensive care?
Close to 2 months.
Okay. I met you before I met you because I was having dinner with somebody one night and they told me your story. And they told me that you were in Erlanger in critical condition, basically in a coma, and to please ask for prayer for you. So I asked for prayer for you long before I met you.
Oh, that's...
And a lot of people said, boy, wait till you meet them, wait till you, and everybody was encouraged that you would come home and you would recover. And you've recovered to about, is it 75% possibly?
It depends. I don't think mentally that it's bothered me in any way, form, or fashion. But to give you some idea, I saw my doctor, Dr. Bell, I have in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and he told me that he was there the night that I was brought in. And he said he told his nurse the next day, he said, the man won't survive. He says, I've never seen anyone survive an accident and an injury like he has. And he said, when I learned that you did survive, I said to her that he'll be a vegetable. He'll never be able to speak, he'll never be able to talk, he'll never be able to walk. And I had some crushed vertebrae back here, and I also had a spinal injury. And they told her, my wife said, that will just have to remain and stay where it is. There's no way he can undergo that operation tonight. So I was nearly a month before I woke up.
Wow.
And when I did wake up, they rolled me down, x-rayed my back, and they said, we don't understand. Said, every bone is in place and knitting properly.
Oh my gosh. We understand.
Yeah.
We understand because hundreds of thousands of people were praying for you.
That's true.
You were on every prayer chain anywhere. You were on everybody was praying for you.
That's true.
The accident that you're referring to took your young grandson's life.
That's right.
Today, every single day, as you leave your home, you are right across the street from where this happened.
That's right.
How do you deal with that?
I'll be honest with you, it's something I've not been able to deal with.
I have been to that site.
People have told me that time would heal, and I hope that in time it does. But right now, it hurts.
I know it does. I know it does. And your only grandson was named after you.
That's
He was
true.
named Brady. And we have shown photos of Brady a lot. Actually, Brady Singleton is on the calendar that I did last year. And out of everybody we've ever talked about honoring and thinking about, that was the one. There was no decision to be made. It had to be Brady Singleton. He lived a very, very blessed 3 years.
Listen, he loved the farm.
He did.
I could not, every day that was, I could, the weather would permit, I had to take him out on the farm. And I had to take him up around the cattle, not just to let him see, but I had to drive through the cattle and let him see them. And he knew everything about a tractor, no matter what it was.
You told me that one night at dinner. You said Brady could go through at 3 years old, and he could have given me a description of how that tractor operated.
Absolutely. He could crank it as well as I. And you could ask him and say, Brady, what's that? Oh, Papa, that's the alternator. And he knew everything about one. So I bought him a 12-volt John Deere, and he was so proud of that tractor. He just wore it. He'd run it dry every day on the battery, and we'd have to recharge it at night. And he told me the day before he died, he said, and we had gone up in the pasture to see the cattle, and he said, Papa, you won't have to mow the grass this year. I'll cut it and put it in the barn for you.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So I was going to give him my farm and all my equipment. He said he owned everything I had except one old red tractor. He says, Papa, everything's mine but that. He said, I'm going to let you have that.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about the fact that you are probably two of the most amazing grandparents in the world. Your daughter and her son were wonderful parents, and we are still looking for a child who needs a home. Another little boy possibly, or a little girl. You could ride a little girl around on a tractor, couldn't you?
I could love a girl just as much as I love.
Yes, you could.
The love of a child is something it's undescribable.
It is indescribable. We have put out messages on Facebook. We have put out messages everywhere we can. If somebody doesn't have the ability to take care of a child, if they're expecting, Ron and Shirley want to adopt again.
Sure.
They were very fortunate. God gave them one little precious little boy. And I said not to have ever met this child. I feel like I was with him. I've been to his...
Wow, what a memory. What a precious, precious couple. Married over 61 years. Amazing strength, amazing fortitude, even after his death. Grady continues to give back because there are scholarships set up in memory of Grady Anderson and of Brady Singleton. And every year they share that scholarship with a kid who's going to go to college. And what a way to be remembered. And they will always be remembered of two of the finest people that ever lived in the community of Turtletown and up in North Carolina. You know, I had written a big article in the newspaper, and we were hoping to get some help getting a sign put up in front of their property just saying this is dedicated as a memorial highway to Grady Anderson and Brady Singleton. And I've hit a dead end. I mean, I'm not getting the help that I thought I would get from the state. So I'm going to keep calling, I'm going to keep whining, I'm going to keep complaining. And then I guess we'll go up there and put up our own sign. It's gotten to a ridiculous point because I know people are busy, but dadgummit, you know, let's get it done. We got them done for David Collins, we got them done for Justin, we've gotten them done for David Ralston, we've gotten them done for a lot of people. But why in the world we have hit this dead end? And it's because it's in North Carolina, so I'm thinking maybe we need to drop back in Tennessee and see if they'll do something for us. But don't forget, every single day when you get in a car, you're responsible for what you do as you drive that car and the people that you affect, often an innocent family. So Brady was killed because somebody chose to drink and drive. Yeah, I'm a witch about that. I don't like people who drink and drive. It drives me crazy. So think about it. If you're drinking, your business. If you're driving, everybody's business. So if you are drinking, please pick up the phone and call somebody and get a ride. Uber will come and get you, or maybe a friend will come and get you, but please don't change a family because you did something stupid. Now we're going to go to another interview, and I think we're going to go, Trace, what you got up next?
I've got you with Bill and you with Freddie as well.
Let's do the guy that most of our crew said y'all were pretty magical on TV, because he could get you and he could give you a hard time and you could take it. So let's go to Freddie Brackett and let's see just how bad he gets me in about a 10-minute segment.
Welcome. Today is Wednesday. North Georgia Now Today on Wednesday is always what?
F-R-E-D-D-Y.
F-R-E-D-D-Y. F-R-E-D-D-I-E is usually a woman's name. And you ain't no woman.
Not hardly.
You're not hardly. Now, you ain't woman enough. That's what Loretta'd say, wouldn't she?
Yep.
If she was after a woman that Ben would do. We're going to be after your hearts today to share a recipe. Heart of the Home started here in this area, 4-minute segment, almost 7 years ago. Now, that's just really weird to me. It's like this 7 years has just flown by. In this time, you have shared your recipes with me, and I have shared them with other people by doing a cookbook. Well, Genius here shared a recipe with me the other day, and I went, you want me to do what to that cornbread? And I thought, he is goofy. He is just goofy. You just don't put something crispy and crunchy in batter and bake it. And boy, did he make me look stupid, because it is really good crackling cornbread. Now, we're going to put, when I got the ingredients out today, you put mayonnaise in it? I do put mayonnaise in it.
I have too, but I didn't think that you put mayonnaise in it. That's the reason I was surprised. It's not that I was shocked that you put mayonnaise in cornbread, because I've done it too.
Yeah. It adds a little richness, it also adds a few calories, but a tablespoon does a whole pan. And I have had the most peaceful something coming on with me lately, because my Aunt Louise passed away, and she was like my favorite. She was like my mom/aunt, just a good mentor for me. And I have a lot of her dishes now. And this tiny little pan, it's like when I go in my kitchen and I open a drawer and I see her dishes, I feel good. I mean, I just feel good to have her there with me. And I found this perfect little pan to make this cornbread for 2. Now, it will only make it for 2 unless you have 5 kids who are on some anorexic type diet and they're eating this much cornbread. So, but it is the perfect little portion for 2 people. If you want to do it this big for your family, you can do that. Just keep adding ingredients. I brought Mayfield milk, egg, mayonnaise, white lily cornmeal mix, and what else? Cracklins. And they're not really cracklins, they're pork skins, but it makes the best crackling cornbread. And I like
it's hard to find good cracklins.
Absolutely.
A lot of them are tough, hard, and
And I mean, I've seen people who broke a tooth off trying to eat cracklins. Yeah. So these things kind of disintegrate, and they're easy to chew, easy to digest. They're so good.
And a lot of people may not like crackling cornbread, but they might like pork skins. So if you like cornbread and you like pork skins,
here you go. Here you go.
Try it.
Well, we also brought Karen Deaton a head of cabbage that was about, is that about right? 6-7 pounds at least. That was kind of, probably 6 or 7 pounds. Big head of cabbage. The gardens are doing very well. I brought Miss Martha Terry some green beans.
So you mean to tell me that Dawn weighed about 3 pounds more than that cabbage did that I just brought in?
Yes. Now you know why I screamed so loud. And I said yesterday I was at a pain level about like being dilated to 8. Today it is much better. But this is the 3rd day after idiot, I overdid. If you ever have a knee injury, do you know in old age it comes back to haunt you? And I was swimming, and swimming is low impact, so you don't realize what you're doing. And then 8 hours later,
Boy, do you realize. But I'm better today, and I'm not in a fit.
Let me give you an example of what she does. Let's say that this finger right here is her right leg.
Oh, God.
Or maybe I should say this is the right leg, because which way on TV would that be the right side?
I reckon.
Look at it and see.
Whatever, I guess.
Let's say that's the right. No, I got to do it this way.
Okay.
Let's say this is the right leg.
Yeah.
This is the leg that's hurt. This one is the good leg. Well, when she goes to step up on something, she uses the bad leg to put pressure on it. I said, you're doing it backwards. You need to use your left leg and get up, and use your left leg to get your body up on the step.
And we were talking about somebody last night, and I said, she was really short, wasn't she? And you said, yeah, she got something on me, because I'm pretty short, and but this knee is getting better. So thank you for everybody who said, get better. We're praying for you. Y'all must be praying hard, because today I am having very little trouble with it. Now, Sunday night and Monday morning, I'm thinking, I'm headed to the hospital, but just working it out, and I'll go back swimming tonight. So there you go. Now, we've seen a lot of gardening. You saw a snake yesterday. A lot of snakes out. If you're out, if you're pulling weeds, if you are gardening, watch for. I think the hot June, it must have the snakes a little bit irritated, because they're everywhere. So be careful if you're outside. And we gave you some hints about chiggers, and if you have hints about old-timey remedies, old-timey things you can do, it's fun to share those ideas, because I remember one where somebody told me to take a brown paper bag, soak it in vinegar. Yes. Have you ever heard that?
Put it over your head?
Yes.
I was just kidding. You said brown paper bag, and I said put it over your head.
I know what you said. One of the kids had a headache years and years ago, and Granny Harris said, take a brown paper bag and tie it to your head. And I'm like, I am not doing this to this 10-year-old kid.
I know people that put kerosene-soaked rags around their ankles.
To go chigger, yeah.
To go chigger hunting.
Yeah, to go chigger hunting, that's right.
To go blackberry
When you're picking blackberries and you're hunting chiggers. That's right. There are a lot of things in summer you have to be cautious about. The big hornets, tons of big hornets out now, tons of wasps out now. Bill says the yellow jackets are out. With summer and the vegetables and the fun come some things you have to watch for, and snakes are one. Now, if you describe the snake that you saw yesterday, do you think a viewer would know what kind it is?
I'm sure somebody would.
Tell me what it looked like.
Well, it was about that long. It was black, and it had from head to the tail a yellow streak down all the way down.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. Dawn said it was a chicken snake. I don't know.
Now, does a chicken snake only eat chicken, or does it like barbecue too?
I don't know. It was around the chicken pens where I saw it.
Okay. Okay, if your gardens are coming in, we're going to give you some more hints on canning in the next few weeks. We challenged the ladies who were here the other day to go now and process their new foods. Come back and share ideas. Each one of them shared recipes or ideas with each other. They also shared it with y'all. And several people have asked for the pear relish recipe. It's in my cookbook, and today we're going to give away one of the cookbooks. I will also make sure that that recipe is on my website. It is so simple, but you have to have. And I guarantee you, every single person watching us today knows somebody whose Aunt so-and-so has got an old-timey pear tree. You have to have the old-timey pears. And why in the world you've never tasted this is beyond me. Because Ralph Ray will tell you, it is good stuff.
When was the first time you ever ate it?
About 25 years ago, the pear relish, yeah. I've been making it a long, long time, but somebody gave me a pint of it. So, if you share your bounty, then other people share that recipe, and it goes down year after year.
I thought this was a Gail Ray special. I thought it was.
Oh, no, I gave Gail the pear relish recipe. Yeah, she did the relish that was so, so good. And today I found in my cookbook there's a recipe for microwave pickles. So we've been challenging you young ladies who might be in your 20s and your early 30s, you've never done canning. There are some quick and easy canning recipes too. Now there's some stuff like hominy that is hard. Kraut is time consuming. You know, we're trying to get you to do this stuff without being so intimidated that you're scared to death. we don't want you to shy away from canning. And I will tell you, at the price of food, they talked about it a lot on the news last night. With the migrant workers after July 1st possibly not being here picking the crops, there will be Georgia crops in the field that absolutely rot, you know, and a box of potatoes or tomatoes at the farmer's market will go from $12 to $20. So that means if you have a garden spot, if you have a yard, if you have somewhere you can just put out some tomato plants, you better grow your own, because things are going to be a little more expensive this year. Have you ever wanted to go out and pick stuff in the hot sun for 12 hours a day?
No.
No. You know, I think that's the problem. A lot of people aren't willing to do that, but now they're looking at using Georgia prisoners to do that, or Georgia parolees. I'm not sure. There was a lot of issues talking about it on the air last night, and I thought, why didn't they come up with that years ago when these, I don't want to say low-impact prisoners, but when these prisoners who are white-collar crime are sitting in jail for tax evasion or fraud or whatever, you know, take them out and let them work the fields. But we have had, we have depended on migrant workers for a long, long time. And without them, I don't know what's going to happen to the Georgia crops, but there's a lot of hype at the farmers market. If you haven't been to the Atlanta farmers market, go. Have you ever been?
Nope. Been by.
It is really, really cool, and you can pull up to every different shed, and there's a different farmer who specializes in something. Like I used to go to one certain man to buy Crowder peas. We used to go to one certain person to buy white half runners, and we can say today, Miss Martha Terry's going to get herself a bushel of white half runners.
Well, which one was it?
What?
Crowder peas.
Crowder. Oh, God, it's Wednesday, y'all. And I tell y'all, you know how quiet he was last Wednesday? That intimidated me so bad.
It would.
You know, it would. To see him just sitting here. So now, can you
told me to be quiet, so
you did. Can you tell me why you came up with this recipe for cornbread?
Because I love crackling cornbread, and I couldn't find any cracklings that was tasted good enough, so I thought, well, I wonder what this would taste like.
Right.
Because it's pork skin, you know, and what is
It
cracklings?
Pork skins. It is. Every day of the week it is.
So,
Can y'all tell I've been taking a new Zyrtec? I've been taking Zyrtec D, and it worked real well, except it kept me up all night. So I've gone back to the old-timey Zyrtec, and now I'm choking up again, and it just cracks me up. The good one keeps me awake all night long. It's great. Works. My head clears up. The bad one lets me rest at night, and then the next morning my head's all stopped up. So I don't know. I'm not sure. Now, we've got a new camera guy today. We're not sure we're going to keep him or not. I don't know. You know, he's been at ETC about 10 years, but he's new on camera today. So, Dave Garner, when you see the credits, you will know that Dave Garner is here. You know, a couple of years ago, we did something to help raise awareness for our friend, Hans Ruffert. That day, we had Dave Garner dance. Julie did the robot. Who else danced?
George Robinson.
George Robinson. We had some people.
Lance Adams.
Lance Adams, yeah. Lance Adams danced. This is a family. ETC is a family, and it is truly neighbors serving neighbors, but more than that, this is a family who cares about each other. And during this time, everybody loved seeing Dave dance.
He can get down.
He can. Now, he's got a new dance he wants to share with y'all, and we may just put him front and center right here. But, you know, this is family, and we are, if something happens to somebody else, everybody rallies around them and they care. Everybody rallied around Hans Ruffert. It is so strange to see this young man. We watched a special. Was it on YouTube or on the hospital's website?
I don't know.
It's about MD Anderson, and it is our friend Hans, and when you see him, because I knew him since he was 4 years old, when you see this healthy, big man who started right here at ETC, sitting behind the first news desk. Many of the people who work here at ETC have been here forever. They knew Hans from the moment he sat down for that, was it 5 minute or 8 minute, something just short little show. And he began what we are now doing 10 years later. Dave Garner's been here for a lot of that. You see him behind the scenes. You see him doing sports. He is like the sports fanatic. He is, he is all about sports, but now he's in here helping us. So this family of longtime employees, sometimes new employees, come together and make this work. That's what makes us different from other people. We can ask you to pray for folks. I don't think if we were NBC, ABC, or any of those folks, we would have a prayer list. What you reckon? I don't think so. Because somebody would call in and whine about it, and we can't do that because we want you to ask for prayer. We want you to pray for your neighbors. I'm going to ask a very, very special prayer for a young lady who is in the hospital in Fana, and she was just brought back from Erlanger, where she is in recovery. Miss Margaret Mason was in a very...
I'm back. You know what? It's so much fun to look back. When I look back, though, and I think about how many years we've been doing this, how many amazing recipes, how many of y'all have shared your recipes. So next week, to celebrate my birthday, I just told the guys, I said, okay, I want to do Heart of the Home, but I want to do a couple of recipes. I'm going to do Carolyn Hyde from Ball Ground taught me how to make dumplings like I'd never made dumplings before. So my idea is I'm going to do my way of doing dumplings and do Carolyn's way of doing dumplings, and then we'll decide which is the best and what do you like. I like them both. I like them both. So there's so many recipes out there that came out of these mountains, that came out of these grandma's kitchens. What is the heart of the home? The heart of the home is your kitchen, where you gather together with family to spend time together, to enjoy conversation, and to share what's going on. That's what it's about. So I hope that we can encourage you to get in the kitchen. The winter is the best time to do it. If you keep your grandkids on the weekend, if you see your grandkids late in the evening, plan some menus around getting them in the kitchen with you. I was sitting here watching a video of me making biscuits, and I had to laugh because, y'all, the first time I made biscuits, the dog wouldn't eat them. The dog wouldn't eat them. They were so bad. They were hard as a rock. The first time I made a pie crust, you could not cut it with a chainsaw. It was awful. So if you're just trying to learn to cook and you have a cookbook and you say, well, this looks like something I can do, or maybe I could do this, or maybe I could do that. The other day when I started making pecan pies again, and I hadn't made them in a long time, instead of getting my mixer out, I just hand stirred them. And then I got to thinking about it, and I thought, well, that pound cake I make takes a lot of whipping with one of them big KitchenAids. You know, it's a big bunch of whipping. How did the old-timey cooks make a good old pound cake back in the day? They had to stand and stir that thing. It's not easy. Cooking is so much easier today than it used to be. And it's still a whole lot of fun. So we hope that as we do the Heart of the Homes we're going to do next week, some of the recipes will make you say, oh, I'm going to try that, or oh, I'm going to try that, or I might try that. I bet my grandkids would like that. There's so many special recipes that everybody loves my chicken and dressing. There's just something about, I've made dressing for thousands of people, because we owned a restaurant for years, and we would make it a lot of days for over 400 people. I've made a lot of dressing in my life. I know when it's right, and I know when it's wrong, and I know how to correct it. And I think that's one of the best ways to learn to cook, is to say, oops, I flubbed and I need to do this to get it right. That's what it's about. Cooking is a science, and everybody who knows me knows I failed science. I had terrible grades in science. I did not get any of the dynamics of it. It just wasn't for me, But at the same time, when you cook, you use a little science, because you understand that the soda and the vinegar do what makes your cookie crisp. And so there you go to your science. Get your kids, your grandkids in the kitchen. If you've got a new daughter-in-law who says, Bobby said he liked so-and-so and so-and-so that his mama made, I don't know how to make that. Teach your daughter-in-law to cook the things that your son loved. It's simple. It's a great way to build a relationship with your new daughter-in-law. Now, don't intimidate her by saying, oh, this is hard, you'll never be able to do it. No, no, no. Convince her that it's really simple and it's really basic. And most recipes are really simple and basic, but as simple and basic as a biscuit is. There are a lot of people who fail the biscuit test because they get intimidated and they get scared. And I was scared to death because when I did mine, they were awful. They were awful. They were hard as a rock. And my granny said, well, I don't know what you did. Well, I went to her sister who taught me how to make them and was very patient with me. So sometimes it takes trial and error, but get in the kitchen. I wouldn't be here at ETC today if I hadn't gotten in the kitchen when Lori Tipton had this great idea. We had done a couple of Christmas specials at my house, and we had done a special about remodeling the farm, and we had done some things like that, but never done any cooking. And she came to visit me, and it was her idea. And so we started doing Heart of the Home. And I loved doing the programs with kids because kids really are fascinated. But how did that meal get on the table? So get your kids in the kitchen. Get your family together around the kitchen table. Go back to having a meal at your kitchen table. Quit doing it in a drive-through and throwing the bag back in the back seat of the car and letting the kids eat. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do that if you're on the run and have to do something, but prepare your meals at home and spend some time just sitting around the kitchen table. I think the world's problems could be solved around the kitchen table. Around the kitchen table. Just check it out, spend some time, get your cookbook out, pick a couple of recipes, and when the grandkids go over, say, hey, I know you like chocolate, you like coconut, why don't we make a recipe for you and a recipe for you? And test it and let the kids play in it. Let the kids make a mess. Let the kids understand, even though it says on the box, do not eat the cake batter when it's raw, kids have been doing it for hundreds of years. You know, they still do it. They're going to do it. And I guess maybe it's something out of the egg. I don't know why they tell you not to eat it raw. But kids have been licking the batter and licking the mixer blades forever. That's just what we did in the kitchen. Let's get back in the kitchen. And let's spend some time with your kids. Next week, we're going to spend a lot of time in the kitchen sharing old Heart of the Homes with you. We're going to do 2 one-hour specials for my birthday. I really am going to be older than dirt. And it has been that birthday that I was like, oh, wow, really? That one's really coming up? Yeah. And how blessed I am to have made it. I fought cancer. I had major surgery. I had my innards put back together in 10 different ways. It's crazy the things that I overcame, and I'm still here approaching this big day. And it's a big day for me because my mom didn't live to be this old, my daddy didn't live to be this old, none of my aunts lived to be this old, and I'm going to hit that number. So we're going to celebrate. Next week is going to be a celebration, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to do it in the kitchen. So y'all practice up for Kitchen with the Kids this weekend. Do something fun for them. Do something educational for them. And do something that inspires them. Say they want to grow up and be just like Granny. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll learn to make the perfect biscuit. It took me a while, but be patient with them and teach them to cook. I'll see you again soon on ETC. And don't forget YouTube. Just hit the subscribe button on our YouTube. Make comments, answer questions, tell me recipes, get involved in our YouTube channel because when you share your recipes, then it gives me something new to try. So please do that. Hope you have a great, great weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye, y'all.